What's up, guys? It's Jason with Overthink Gaming. Today's video, we're going to talk about Limited Run and the whole controversy that's still going on with Revenge of the Bird King. All right, to catch you guys up in case you guys didn't see my last video, Limited Run is a small company. Basically, they're a publisher and a developer. They are known for publishing a bunch of indie titles, you know, like the ones that 8-Bit Eric reviews, a bunch of these indie titles, and they'll actually put them into the physical form for collectors. Now, they put these in small quantities, and the prices on like games that you'll find in the eShop really cheap are kind of expensive. So that's why I'm not really a fan of them, because they do charge like crazy prices for these games. Now, they do make their own games. They do have a developing team, which is pretty cool. So they're a developer and a publisher. They do publish other people's games. So all right, we got that out of the way. There's two owners in Limited Run. It's gonna be Douglas Bogart and Josh Fairhurst. Now, I've met Douglas in person here in San Antonio. He seemed like a really cool guy. He's that emo guy that's on the Metal Jesus video, if you guys have seen it, but I've never met Josh. We're gonna talk about Josh here in a little bit. Metal Jesus put out a video and he was shilling for this small indie title called Revenge of the Bird King. You guys can get that on Switch right now on sale for 9 cents. If you guys go right now on your Nintendo Switch and actually look at the publisher of the game, you will see Limited Run is a publisher of Revenge of the Bird King. I want you to keep that in mind. It's a whole kind of drama. Something just is not right. Something is wrong about the situation, because look, check it out. So in this video, Metal Jesus compared that game, the physical version, to the Nintendo Stadium Events, which is the rarest game. That was a game that Nintendo pulled off the shelf and swapped with track and field. It's just a really rare, expensive Nintendo game. So Metal Jesus comparing this game to Stadium Events is gonna grab collectors' attention. So the developer of this Revenge of the Bird King is Joe Modeleski. All right, man. So we'll just start saying Joe and Josh. Those are the two guys I'm gonna talk about in this video, besides what I just said about Metal Jesus. So Joe was the developer of this game, and it's kind of weird because with Sony, if you're gonna put out a game, you need to have a digital version. If you're gonna put out a physical version, you need that digital version. And it was kind of crazy because what doesn't seem right is there's a mystery event that nobody seems to know, and Limited Run hasn't answered what this event is. So there was a mystery event that happened and it got canceled. And because it got canceled, for some reason it doesn't make sense, Joe could not sell his game and Sony could not put out the digital version of Revenge of the Bird King on their storefront, because you have to have those hand in hand. I don't know. It just does not make sense. Now, if I remember correctly, the minimum amount of games that you can do in a run is 1,000, if that is correct. If you guys look on that, you know, the small controversy with Joe, he has pictures of him with just a small amount of games, and that's where it becomes an issue right there. So Jason put out that video right before the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, which was this Friday. So in the video, he did say you can contact Joe to get your copy. There was many people that contacted him, but right away he did state that, hey, you know, I can't sell games online. I'm going to sell them in person at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. So that's where it got confusing. It made it sound like it was a miscommunication between Metal Jesus and Joe. So Portland Retro Gaming Expo came, and you know, it got kind of crazy. People picked up copies. They started selling it online for crazy. Now, I did the research and it showed that the first copy sold for $1,100, but that was actually done by Joe himself. He put the game on October 10th and it sold October 17th, the day before the expo. What was kind of fishy about this is it was bought by somebody, and it was all the proceeds were donated into a Video Game History Foundation, if I got that foundation name correctly. And that was kind of fishy, you know. Anything that's towards a foundation, you know, could be tax write-offs. I don't know. I don't want to get into that, any speculation, but it just, to me, grabbed the red flag in my brain. So collectors start getting the game, and right away the prices start following that 1,100. They started selling, I believe it was 760, went down to 500 to 530, and I don't know what they're selling now. It's a couple $100. It's overpriced for this piece of shit game, and that's where all the controversy comes in. It comes into like, Joe, where's the rest of your run? If 1,000 is the minimum amount of runs, where's the rest of the games? The other question is that mystery event. I mean, what event was that? Now, Smash JT took it to Twitter, and he did ask, you know, I'll leave a link to his video in the description below, and I'll be making reference to that video towards the end, and we could not answer that. So the main reason of this video is I want to just show you guys what I experienced through Twitter, because I was tagged into a conversation that out of nowhere that I saw Josh, one of the owners from Limited Run, you know, just basically try to do some damage control on this situation. The first tweet I read by Josh stated this: Revenge of the Bird King on PS4 is not published or distributed by us. Joe pressed copies of his own game for personal distribution because we did not want to publish copies ourselves. we have zero involvement with Joe's physical release of his own game. All right, so what does that say right there? Right there says the damage control that Limited Run does not want have anything to do with the physical release of this controversy that happened at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Now, yes, I will say that Joe did say, you know, the games were his own, that he was going to sell them himself in person. And then he changed it to he was going to be selling them at the Limited Run pop-up shop. Now, if you're going to be selling them under the umbrella of Limited Run, I believe you have full responsibility because Joe is an employee of yours and something sounds shady about this game. Why was this game on Switch published by you but not the PS4 version? I don't know. Something sounds kind of funny about it. I don't want to say it was fabricated, but in my mind, my opinion is something just is not right about this situation. The next tweet I read say by Josh said this: Joe has been an independent game developer since long before we hired him, and I allow my employees to continue pursuing their own things while under employment with me. Any registered developer with Sony can produce a physical run of their own games. So what I got out of that is Josh is strongly saying we have nothing to do with this. Joe could produce his own physical run. We don't have to. And what he did is what he did and has nothing to do with the Limited Run, you know, umbrella. I don't know that me personally, because he does work for him and I understand he gives him the opportunity, what he says, to pursue his own thing, which any company should do. But when it comes down to something as serious as this, I don't know. It just sounds like I got your back. Don't worry about it. But we got to take care of our name. It sounds very PR to me and it's really starting to sound like some bullshit. The next tweet I assume is a reply when questioned why didn't they publish the game. But anyways, here's what the tweet says: because we are trying to focus more on bigger titles. I didn't want to publish his game physically through Limited Run, and I especially do not now. So he ran the game physically himself. He didn't set out with ill intentions. I don't know Joe. I don't know anything about him, but something is pretty fucked up in this. Whether it was Joe alone, whether it was Limited Run and Joe, whether it wasn't them at all. Who knows? It could be anything. But my personal thing, I think there was something for sure going on between all of them, because it sounds like they're covering each other's ass right now while trying to protect the name of Limited Run Games. The next tweet I saw said, he didn't set out to turn the internet against him. He is over his head right now and doing what he can to rectify the situation he created. There's not much that Joe can do right now but be honest and answer the fucking questions. What was the event that got canceled? That's the first question. The next question is, how many of these copies were put out on the original run? How many copies did he sell? Because it looked like a small box. That's what I want to know. And the third question, does he have any plans to put out any more? Those three questions answered, I believe if Joe said that, the internet would calm down on him. The next tweet I read in my feed stated this: I've talked to Joe about this extensively, and I've asked him to find ways to make his game more available. He is starting by selling copies in person in November, and we'll look into sorting out how to sell them online himself in the coming months. All right, so you heard that right there from the owner. More games should come in November. I'm going to hold him to those words. We better see more from Joe on his Twitter. If you guys are hardcore into collecting and really interested in this game, I would say hold him to his words. In November, where are the fucking games? The next tweet I assume is a reply when asked how many copies did Joe run. This is what Josh had to say: he would have ran the minimum. You can't go below that. He wouldn't have had money to go beyond that. There's nothing stopping him from ordering more to meet whatever demand exists. I would 100% recommend people not give into any hype and buy the game at inflated prices. All right, that's just basically covering his ass because that's not a number. What is the number? Why couldn't you tell us, yeah, he ran 1,000? I'm pretty sure you guys have a close relationship. If not, I mean, it has to be close enough. If he sold the games under your pop-up shop, you being Limited Run know exactly what the minimum number is, saw the box he was selling. If it was a small box and the minimum is 1,000, isn't that shit shady? I don't know. That's something I would question. And there's a lot of heat right now going to Limited Runs, and I honestly think they deserve it because we are not getting answers to any of these questions. This is the last tweet that I saw that came across my feed. I'm assuming this is replying to a question from Smash JT. But anyways, this is what Josh had to say. My 2 cents, you're free to make a video about this, but it's just going to further fuel the hype and artificially inflate the value until Joe has solidified his plans to get the game out in a more accessible way. What the fuck is that shit? If you make a video, the prices are gonna go up? This situation is so fucking shady. I don't know. Personally, I think making a video would cause the prices to go down because it was mentioned that there are supposed to be more copies in November. If there's going to be more copies, less people are going to be wanting to pay a fucking crazy price. They're going to try to get those other copies. And if there's another potential in the next couple months that there's going to be another run online himself, actually doing it the right way, if there's going to be a potential of them being online, that means they're going to have to be digital too. So that just says right there that the price will go down. I don't know, guys. I don't know what you guys think about this situation. And Josh's replies, I think they were very PR. I think this situation is still fucking shady as fuck. And if there is truth behind that, if that is true, if Joe decides in November, hold him to that, if he's going to do more copies, and if he's going to look in the next couple months to getting this game online, which will mean there will be a digital version because Sony requires you to have a digital version. I don't know. The price is going to have to go down. So collectors, I believe you guys should not fall into this bullshit. But you know what? If they're lying, that game's going to go up and it's going to be the stadium run that they artificially created, and it's going to be bullshit. I mean, it's fucking bullshit. All right, guys, we don't know the situation. We can just all agree that this shit sounds shady. Something isn't right. A lot of questions aren't being answered. And hopefully we'll find something out coming soon. Now, if you guys want more information, I would suggest checking out Smash JT's video. I left a link in the description because he goes into a conversation with Joe and he asks those questions that we want. In that conversation, Joe didn't answer Smash's questions, and he also, one of the replies was he was under an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. I don't know, guys, that's really making it sound like bullshit to me, in my opinion. There's one last clip I want to show you guys. I got this from Immoral. I'll leave a link in the description to his video, but basically he showed Kelsey having access to the game after they were sold out. I don't know. Sounds kind of weird.
I looked that up. Okay, cool. So what do you got, Chelsea?
I have good news for you from Joe, and it's limited run.
Right?
It's not in my hands
Those are our
yet,
last
but
three.
we will
Have
have
more.
I knew it because I asked him, I'm like, hey, do you guys have one? He was like, oh no, we sold out. I'm like, I just sold them back. He says, I don't believe you.
Well, no, he is out of a beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Jersey.
He is,
Oh, hey.
well, he had one left for his friend,
Oh, okay.
but like he's literally out of a beer. I'll come get you one for this year.
That's Revenge of the Bird King coming your way.
He also has another video where he shows John Hancock show the game in his collection. Now, I don't know if all the Metal Jesus crew has this. All I know is I heard personally in a live stream that Reggie didn't give a fuck about that game. He was all like, dude, that game should have cost $20. Like, there was a line, this and that. They were selling it for $60. So I don't think Reggie had anything to do with that. I don't know if Riggs had anything to do with it or Kinsey. I don't want to put shade on the whole MJR crew. I do believe everyone's their own person, so I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please drop a like. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace out.